will enjoy a 4-course dinner with wine pairings, plus an informative discussion as we celebrate 2 iconic culinary institutions. Sunday, March 12th at 5 p.m. at Tarbell's in Phoenix. Seating will be limited, so reserve your spot now. Tickets at azpbs.org/testkitchen.
Coming up next on Arizona PBS, Life and World. When you want to be more connected, friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, watch us online. Coming soon to Arizona PBS.
Join me, Rick Steves, as we explore Germany, old and new. We'll go on a harbor tour in Hamburg, explore the treasure troves of the historic Green Vault in Dresden, journey through Nuremberg's secret underground tunnels, and visit the home of one of the most influential figures in European history, Martin Luther. You're in for some monumental travel fun in my latest travel special, Rick Steves' Great German Cities.
Sunday at 3:30 on Arizona PBS. Support for Arizona PBS comes from viewers like you and from
Enjoy family fun at the Herd Museum Guild Indian Fair and Market with authentic art pieces for sale, cultural performances, and a celebration of American Indian artists from across the U.S. Saturday and Sunday, March 4th and 5th. Tickets on sale now at herd.org/fair.
Ironwood CRC, a member of the Association of Community Cancer Centers and the American Society of Clinical Oncology. Patients have access to clinical trials and conventional therapies administered in a patient-centered environment.
From the Cronkite Studios in downtown Phoenix, this is Cronkite News.
President Trump's joint address to Congress was not what the House was expecting. How Arizona's representatives reacted.
And a new partnership means higher security in communities, what this means for residents and fighting crime.
Plus, how this Native American and Chicano artist collective combines technology and engineering to make music.
Cronkite News starts now.
Good evening and welcome to Cronkite News on Arizona PBS. I'm Veronica Acosta.
And I'm Anthony Mitchell. Thank you for joining us. President Donald Trump was back on Capitol Hill last night, laying out the road ahead for him and his administration. This was the first address to a joint session of Congress. Reporter Tyler Fingert was there.
While we may be a nation divided on policies, we are a country that stands united in condemning hate and evil.
It was a speech intended to unify. But many Democrats didn't see it that way. Some sat stone-faced. Others gave the president a thumbs down. Freshman Representative Tom O'Halloran says he was hoping for more.
It was a lot of, apple pie, but not a lot of real concrete concepts as it relates to the needs of our country.
Last night, President Trump reiterated one of his campaign promises.
For that reason, we will soon begin the construction of a great wall along our southern border.
The wall wasn't the only familiar immigration plan the president touched on in his speech.
By finally enforcing our immigration laws, we will raise wages, help the unemployed, save billions and billions of dollars.
His immigration and border plans are still a sticking point for some in Arizona's congressional delegation. But like a lot in politics nowadays, opinions split down party lines. Arizona's Andy Biggs thought that the joint address to Congress was well done.
These were real visionary ideas that he wanted to convey a sense, I think, of what he believes a great America looks like, and he wanted to share that vision. And I thought he did a really nice job doing that.
Now comes the hard part, turning that vision into reality. The president's budget is expected in the next few weeks as Trump's policies start moving forward. In Washington, Tyler Fingert, Cronkite News.
Today, the Senate confirmed Montana Representative Ryan Zinke as Interior Secretary, who will be responsible for more than 400 million acres of public land, mostly in the West. Arizona Senator Jeff Flake released a statement today on the confirmation, saying, "I was pleased to vote to confirm Ryan Zinke for Secretary of the Interior. Securing the Interior Department's commitment to honor and protect Arizona water saved in Lake Mead was a major victory for our state's proactive water conservation efforts. I look forward to working with Secretary Zinke to continue this and other policies critical to combating the drought, preventing a water shortage, and ensuring continued access to Arizona's share of the Colorado River.
A new virtual block watch pilot program was introduced this morning at Phoenix City Hall. It's an effort to empower local police with the tools already in use in neighborhoods and retail areas. Reporter Joe Constantine was there to find out more.
Cameras are everywhere, from your smartphone to the shopping mall, and in some cases, on your own front porch. Now, a pilot program for using this camera network, known as Virtual Watch Block, aims to gather video surveillance from neighborhoods and shopping centers.
This partnership will allow residents to share that valuable information with investigators to help solve crimes in their neighborhoods.
The purpose of Block Watch is to keep neighborhoods and shopping centers just as this one safer from crime in the Maryvale area. The program covers the entire Maryvale-Estrella Mountain precinct, a total of 75 square miles that is also home to more than 300,000 Phoenix residents.
So one of the things that we're looking at in the future, if there's criminal activities happening in a certain area of town, that you have these surveillance cameras registered, and they can go back and ask for the cameras and the information so that they can use it during their investigation.
In order to take part in Block Watch, residents must have their own surveillance system in place already. Police will not be given access to live feeds of the cameras.
We're not going to have anyone looking into their neighbors' properties or moving their cameras.
Block Watch is about making it easier to share the photo and video files to help fight crime. In Maryvale, Joe Constantine, Cronkite News.
The city of Peoria already has a program like Block Watch in place. Phoenix police hope to have the same success.
While Grand Canyon University continues expanding their campus, local businesses were talking to Judson Tomiko about how they hope to expand their relationship with the university.
For Grand Canyon University, new additions to the campus are something to celebrate. GCU held a high-profile rally where it unveiled the community hub off of 27th Avenue and Camelback Road. Complete with new office buildings, a restaurant, and a renovated hotel. But for GCU, building in this community was much more than a business prospect.
The question is, do you keep it here, or do you take it someplace where there's a lot more prosperity? As a Christian university, it became, we decided that it was our greater mission to put it here.
However, not everyone in the community is excited for the changes.
Some local businesses are complaining that Grand Canyon University tore down homes and apartment complexes of long-established customers to create their new building, but other businesses are saying they just need to learn to adapt to change.
And with those adaptations, businesses just across the street from the hub are looking for some additional support.
I would like to see GCU reach out to us and tell us how we might be able to better work together as neighbors, and perhaps some way we could try to work out where we would get more business.
However, not all students see the area as a great place to shop.
There's not as many stores that I shop around here.
GCU notes they are reaching out to help the businesses in the area.
We have a group that is led by one of our professors who are providing free services to the businesses in this community to help them understand more about how to market, how to sell.
With all the new buildings, old businesses are hoping their future interactions with Grand Canyon University will be a bright one. In Phoenix, Judson Tomiko, Cronkite News.
A study performed by Elliott D. Pollock and Company estimated the new community hub will bring almost $10 million into the local economy.
Ash Wednesday commemorates the start of Lent, and while giving up something for 40 days isn't easy, many Christians are finding that making it to church on a workday is impossible. Today, priests were available at intersections across the nation. The idea for Ashes to Go originated at a diocese in Chicago. It has since become a national movement, with priests offering a quick opportunity to join in prayer and receive a cross of ashes as a sign of penitence. Father Robert Barris says that Ashes to Go extends a sense of community to those unable to attend Mass.
I think the church has to get out of its four walls and act within the community. If we get into a posture in which all we're doing is constricting ourselves, holding on to our own little area, then we're irrelevant to the world.
More than 28 billion glass bottles and jars end up in landfills every year.
That's the equivalent of filling up 2 Empire State Buildings every 3 weeks. Coming up next on Cronkite News, what one Arizona company is doing to cut down on wine bottle waste.
Plus, eating vegan is getting more popular. Why some businesses are seeing double the customers.
I'm Scott Pelley, anchor and managing editor of the CBS Evening News. In our changing media landscape, it is crucial for journalism education to ensure a commitment to the truth, unbiased reporting, strong ethics, unwavering fairness, and above all else, accuracy. These are the hallmarks of ASU's Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication. It's a place where students can innovate and transform the news industry while always upholding the values of the school's namesake. The Cronkite School at ASU, preparing the next generation for a stronger future of journalism.
Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule, where it's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Access interactive digital and printable program guides, repeat times, and full episode descriptions. Watch program previews of best bets for the coming week. Search by title to find your favorite shows. You can even add programs to your calendar and get email reminders when they're about to start. It's easier than ever to find out what's on Arizona PBS. Discover so much more at azpbs.org/schedule. When you want to be more connected, friend us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, watch us online.
I was at the post office mailing something. I asked the clerk, "How do they let you know if your son is wounded?" It was very hard for me to form those words, but I just felt, I've got to know. I just felt so suspended in space and anxiety. And the man said, "Now, don't worry. They'll tell you."
The city of Phoenix is currently recycling approximately 17,000 pounds a year of glass. But not all glass gets recycled. Reporter Nicole Gutierrez tells us how one company bases its business on old bottles.
According to the EPA, people in the U.S. generated more than 11 million tons of glass in 2014 alone, and only 1/4 of that glass is recycled. But a Valley company is rescuing wine bottles to do its part in the recycling process. This was a perfectly good wine bottle. Now it's on its way to a new life.
This is an example of a glass that might be made from a bottle like this.
Ray Del Moro is owner of Refresh Glass. He refreshes old wine bottles into cocktail and water glasses. His business has processed more than 1 million bottles in 8 years.
This is a carafe. We have the ability to do printing and custom engraving as well. And then we also make planters. Some people use these as shot glasses. So we have a fairly wide variety of different functional uses that we can make out of a single wine bottle.
Pig and Pickle says that using cups made out of recycled wine bottles is both functional and durable for their restaurant.
I've worked in bars my whole life, and on average, I'd say probably a dozen glasses get broken a week, and that's probably on the lighter end. Whereas these, maybe a dozen every couple months.
McGregor also has glasses made specifically for his bar.
So I like the fact that they're all different sizes, a slightly different color, or something a little bit different about it. So these are all the tops of the wine bottles, as you can tell. So I made these surfboards in my garage, and these are a whiskey flight. So now if you don't want to get just, one style of whiskey, you can pick 4 different kinds and get a sample of all 4 whiskeys.
According to Keep Phoenix Beautiful, you can do your part to recycle glass by making sure bottles and jars, as well as food-grade glass containers, make it to the recycling bin in the first place. But remember, window panes, mirrors, light bulbs, and treated glass, like the ones you find in your car, should be disposed elsewhere. In the broadcast center, Nicole Gutierrez, Cronkite News.
Interest in vegetarian and vegan diets is on the rise. And with this growing trend, many new options like food festivals of bakeries and even meal prep services are now catering to this growing community. Alexa Arms has more on the meatless movement.
These vegan falafels were so popular that people had to be turned away. But there were also plant-based tacos, kettle corn, and many other delicacies to choose from at the 2nd annual Vegan Food Festival in downtown Phoenix.
It's insane because even 3 years ago, it wasn't nearly this big. And now it's big enough to sustain a festival where thousands of people come.
Vegan chef and author Jason Wyrick has also seen a significant increase in his meal prep services.
My business increases by at least 50% every year, which is an insane growth rate. I mean, there are some years where my business just doubles.
And more businesses, like the vegan bakery Nami, are catering to the trend.
When me and my girlfriend come downtown, we always find these cool new vegan restaurants.
There are many reasons why people choose to go vegan.
I really wanted to do it more for the animals and also the added bonus of health benefits.
While the interest in becoming vegan is definitely growing, some people are still missing out on key nutrients.
The research I've conducted in vegetarian diets, there are concerns. I mean, people have to be very careful that they get their vitamins and minerals. When you omit a whole food group from your diet, which is animal-based products, meats, you are narrowing some of your nutrient intakes.
It's important to keep some of the key nutrients in mind.
Nutrients like B12, vitamin D, those are very much problem nutrients.
Another thing to keep in mind, nutritionists say vegans are happier than meat eaters. In Phoenix, Alexa Arms, Cronkite News.
3% of the U.S. population is vegetarian, while only 1% is vegan. There are more than 396 vegan-friendly restaurants in Arizona.
A large number of tourists in Arizona are Arizonans themselves.
In fact, the Arizona Office of Tourism wants more Arizonans to hit the road and visit hotels within the state. Coming up on Cronkite News, why the staycation is becoming much more popular.
The storms have passed. It's a gorgeous day out there today, but could 80-degree temperatures be looming? I'll have your full forecast coming up.
I finally found my hallelujah. I've been waiting for this moment all my life now. All my dreams are coming true, yeah. I've been waiting for this moment. It's good to be alive right about now. Right about now.
Officially from 36, and he hooks it in. Arizona State wins. Keeping one deep, and it is caught. Jalen Strong. Do you believe it?
Fascinating.
You know, sometimes I wish I wasn't so beloved.
Can't you see? Little girl got a hold on me like wow. Baby, I'm howling for you.
It's literally one for the history books.
Enjoy. APS announced an agreement today to lower an expected rate increase for residential customers. Last June, APS proposed an 8% rate hike, but today's announcement lowered that increase to 4.5%. That means a typical homeowner will pay $6 more per month if state regulators approve the deal. The utility also dropped a plan to charge all customers more during peak periods.
More than 10 million Arizonans took staycations in 2015, and the State Office of Tourism is pushing for more. The road trip vacation is especially attractive when hotel rates are low in the summer. Reporter Kanak Jha talks about this growing trend.
The Arizona Office of Tourism wants people to hit the road.
Arizona is a staycation destination year-round, and this time of year, I think, is one of the best times to take a staycation.
Arizonans made up 28% of overnight stays in the state in 2015, according to the Tourism Office. a number that increased by 3%. Shivani Palagotati says that her family can do staycations spontaneously.
You're not at home all just on your computers and your phones and like worrying about all sorts of other things. You're kind of just there with the main intent to bond and relax and kind of just, forget the everyday stressors.
According to the U.S. Travel Association, 55% of Americans did not take all of their vacation time last year. The Arizona Office of Tourism says that if Arizonans planned even a local vacation, it could benefit our economy.
What we found in that study is if the entire country, if everyone in the U.S. had used all of their vacation days, Arizona's share of the spending would be $1.5 billion.
The tourism office classifies a staycation as 50 miles away from home, but rest and relaxation could be much closer.
You don't have to get on a plane, you don't have to park your car, it's expensive. If you have to go home and feed the goldfish, you can go home and be back at the hotel in 20 minutes.
But Arizonans looking for deals will likely have to wait a few more months. Snowbird season and spring training coincide this month, and hotel rates are at their high. In Phoenix, Kanakja, Cronkite News.
Maricopa and Pinal County are the most popular for tourism and hosted over 22 million visitors in 2015.
Interstate 10 near the New Mexico border was back open today after 3 straight days of closures due to blowing dust. That comes as the 6th annual dust storm workshop brought a wide group of people to Central Arizona College to try to find solutions to safety concerns on our highways.
Dust storms are very dangerous. We want people to know that they're coming, to pull aside, stay alive. Let that dust storm pass. It's 15 minutes. It might be 30 minutes. That's better than getting in a crash.
From first responders to the academic world, all kinds of people brought their unique talents when it came to thinking of new ways to help drivers stay safe during dust storms. A few of the ways are making text alerts more effective, and ADOT is urging their Pull Aside, Stay Alive campaign. Speakers talked about recent success with dust storm warnings and alerts. ADOT is known for coming up with clever phrases for their freeway signs.
Yeah, a competition is actually underway right now for citizens to submit their own savvy safety messages.
Yes, and starting today, you can vote for your favorite sign on ADOT's website. Here's a look at some of the 20 signs that made it to the finals. If you missed your chance to submit a sign or think you can come up with a better one, we want to hear from you. Tweet us at what you would like to see on a freeway sign at Cronkite News. And storms have passed here in Arizona, but we're still watching some across the country. I want to take a look here at the national map. As you can see, the system moving across the East Coast. The southern states got a lot of tornadoes yesterday and last night. If you look at the red and yellow storm cells there, those are disappearing. Those are the heaviest of storms, so that's good news for those folks in that area and if you're traveling there this weekend. As for Arizona, right now we've got cooler temperatures, 40 degrees up in the Grand Canyon, 69 down in Tucson, and 72 in Yuma right now. Your temperatures across the valley are the high 60s, low 70s. We've got 70 in Phoenix, Chandler, Maricopa, 66 up in Cave Creek, and 69 in Scottsdale right now. Tomorrow we're going to see a high of 78 degrees and sunny. We are going to see some clouds come in over the weekend, especially on Sunday. We are looking at possibly 83 degrees on Friday and next Wednesday, but clear skies throughout next week. Lauren Hornberger, Cronkite Weather.
Tin cans, seashells, and mason jars.
Those are just some of the few things that can make music. Coming up next, how this collective artist group is using engineering and household objects for healing.
Heaven knows you're a dreamer. Don't hide it from anyone. Don't hide it from anyone. Would you believe me if I said we are here for a reason now? This is our life. This is
nhà lãnh đạo Việt Nam mà nói rằng là chúng tôi sẵn sàng hy sinh đến cái người dân Việt Nam cuối cùng. Thực sự mà nói thì người dân không biết được, việc miền Bắc không có thể ý thức một cách đầy đủ rằng đằng sau những cái tuyên bố mà cao cả đấy là sự hy sinh của chính họ.
I don't think a military mom at the time would want to announce my son has gone AWOL, my son has run to Canada, my son is all the words that were associated with it, a deserter, a coward, all of the things that these guys were called. I don't think that's what those guys thought they were doing. I do not think they thought they were deserting. I do not think they thought they were cowards. In fact, I think they thought they were very brave.
A group of indigenous artists have found a new purpose for mason jars, aluminum cans, and video game controllers. I went to Tempe to check out the group called Radio Healer.
The conch shell that many people find on the beach has found its way into this performance.
Something we do a lot of in Radio Healers, we build electroacoustic musical instruments.
The group Radio Healer is a Native American and Chicano-led artist group that gives alternate uses to everyday items, such as this mason jar.
We develop tools that are meant to generate sounds, that are meant to communicate certain messages, and that's whether these technologies are things that we wear or they're things that we perform with.
But Radio Healer isn't only about creating tools like these. It's a collective of different art forms mixed with engineering for storytelling purposes.
The tools are just mediators for an idea.
And so are the wigs, masks, and slightly gothic garb.
We do this by performing these instruments in works of art. Some of them include dance and they're multimedia and interactive in different ways.
And the performance is also meant to be interpreted differently, just as they bring something different to their audience.
The founder of Radio Healers says that the group's purpose is to showcase how science and art intertwine. The performance is free, and to find out more about their next performance, you can go to radiohealer.com.
Cronkite News is proud to be the news division of Arizona PBS. Here's what's coming up on Arizona Horizon.
On the next Arizona Horizon, we'll get the latest from the Capitol by way of state legislative leaders, and we'll learn about Arizona Opera's first world premiere performance. That's the next Arizona Horizon.
That's it for Cronkite News tonight. Thanks for joining us.
For top Arizona stories anytime, go to cronkitenews.azpbs.org.
Spy in the Wild concludes with a behind-the-scenes look at the making of the series. Meet the creators whose cutting-edge designs and technology built an army of remarkable spy creatures.
Hello, Bush baby. We're going to put you now with the chimps.
And follow the filmmakers who took great risks to deploy them in the wild.
Tonight at 7 on Arizona PBS. Explore new ideas and new worlds here on Arizona PBS, a community service of Arizona State University.